In this video, we're going to introduce Westpac StoryBank and provide a bit of information on how to get started using it. So StoryBank is an initiative of the Westpac Foundation and Westpac Group, and the idea was to provide all of the community organisations that they support with a new way to profile the work they're doing and to share the stories of the great stuff that's being done in communities right across Australia. So we're going to do a quick run through of logging into the Foundation StoryBank site, updating your profile, and then creating a couple of digital stories. And to start with, we'll go to Place Stories, which is the engine that sits behind StoryBank. And each of you has now a Place Stories account. So we've got to log in, going to the green button here, and then using the default username and password that you've been given, just log in, and once you're in, we'll go to your profile page, and that's kind of your home page in the Place Stories system. You can see that there's already a little bit of information set up in here on your behalf, and we'll show you in a sec how you can get in and edit that information and update it. Your home page, your profile page is your home page, and it gives you access to the communities that you're a member of, any projects, and also your stories. Now up on the right here there's the Edit Profile Settings button, and this opens up the area where you can update your profile information. You can log in anytime and do this. You can have a quick look around and just check out the different settings you can do. One area I want to show you now is the tags that go with your user profile, and that gives you a chance to select the areas that are relevant to you as an organisation and the work that you do. And we'll be using similar tagging for tagging the story content in the StoryBank system too. Now back on your home page, on your profile page, we're going to look at the Westpac Foundation StoryBank community. Now opening the community page, you'll see you've got the yellow heart icon that shows you're on the community page. Now these are the 6 projects that are currently part of the Foundation StoryBank community. Each of them covers a different part of what the Westpac Foundation does. Here's some of the stories that have currently already been published. Now that list of stories will continue to grow and change all the time with new stories that are coming in. And then you can also see that all of the different people who are currently members of the Westpac's Foundation StoryBank community, with the administrators up the top, and then some of the other great organisations who have been supported by the Foundation. So each of those organisations has a profile and can be part of the system. It's a way for you to communicate and potentially get in touch with some of those other organisations. So let's go back to our profile page and we'll have a go at creating a digital story. Now go up to Create and select Story, and then the first option here, which we'll give a go, is digital postcards. So clicking on postcard, and you're asked to then select an image. Now when choosing an image, try and look for an image that's landscape shaped, so that's wider than it is high, because they're a better fit with the postcard template. Add a name for your story in the title area. Then in the description, type up to around about 100 words of text. So it's only a short story that also displays on the back of the postcard when it's created. You can add in the more info URL a website address for the organisation or for the particular project that you're doing, so that can go in the bottom area. And then there's an option for adding an audio track, just a voice recording like this one. Won't worry about that now, but we'll have a go at that another time. So click on location and now type in the street address or the place that this story was. Now I'm going to type in Collins Street, Melbourne, which is a bit of a guess, but it'll give you the idea of how the map location stuff works. So you can see the map updates, and then you can drag and drop that marker to zoom into the specific place. So now we're on the corner of Collins Street in Melbourne. Clicking on Publishing and Tags. Now this is an important area. You can decide about sharing for your story, whether it's available for sharing, and also about how public it is within the system. So we're going to make it private to start with, and then this is important to add it to a community. So we're going to add it to the Westpac Foundation StoryBank community, and then click OK. And then once it's added to that, you can see all of the tag values for the Westpac Foundation StoryBank community come up. Select some of the tags that are relevant to your story, and that'll help people who are searching the database and using the StoryBank to find stories. So you can also type in your own tag values to add more information. When you've finished doing the tagging, just click the Done button and that'll start the image upload and your story will be created. Once it's finished, use that link at the top that says go to your new stories webpage and that'll load your new story and you can check it out. There are buttons underneath to edit or update your story if you want, if you need make more changes, and so that's a pretty quick and simple way to create a digital story. Now let's have a go at creating a story through a YouTube video. Go back up to Create and click Story and then select the YouTube story option. Now grab a URL for the YouTube video that you're going to turn into a StoryBank story and paste it into the field. You'll find that the title, information, and description will probably come straight over from YouTube. And then from there on, the process is very similar to the one that you've already learned through creating a digital postcard. Adding in a location, and then in publishing in tags, again, choosing the privacy, then adding to a community, selecting again the Westpac Foundation StoryBank, and then when the tag values come up again, choosing appropriate tags for your story. So once you've done this once or twice, you pretty well learned the system for creating stories, and it'll be quick and easy to do. Again, so if you've got existing resources and things like YouTube content, it's going to be a very quick process to add it to StoryBank and share it with the foundation and with all the other colleagues. Again, clicking Done and creates a new story, and we can go and have a look at the new story on the web page. And once again, you can play the story and check it out. So it's going to be a very fantastic way. Back on your profile page now, you'll notice that where it had 0 stories before in the green tab, there are now 2 stories. You can see your stories there in your story list. And so that'll continue to grow as you add new content. So the stories that you publish are then available for publishing through onto the Westpac StoryBank site. Now, everything that gets published on StoryBank gets checked by a moderator from either the Foundation or Westpac Group before it becomes public on the site. And so the site's organised into 2 sections, one that's about the work of the Westpac Foundation and the other part the Westpac Group. So if we look here at the Westpac Foundation latest stories, you can see those 2 stories that we've just created have been added to the latest stories area after they've been approved. And the stories also appear here in the section about what we do. Now it's been cross-published into one of the projects for the Foundation. This is a project about social inclusion, and so it's a story that's being featured under the social inclusion work of the Foundation. And so you can see that the content gets profiled and published in different ways by the Foundation staff before it becomes public. And the other really fun way to display content in StoryBank is via the map. And so the Foundation map, for example, when it initially loads, plays a tour of the latest stories, and so we'll see that story we've just created be displayed here. But then you can also, outside of tour mode, click on search, and this is where the tags really come into their own. And the whole idea behind StoryBank and the idea of building a database that grows into the future becomes more apparent. So we're hoping that this becomes a tool that both is useful for organisations to promote their work and their activity, and also to help grow the knowledge about the work in this sector and the work delivered by Westpac Foundation and Westpac Group. So if you've got questions or need extra help, there's also the user guide, the PDF that's been provided, and probably just a quick email or phone call to the Foundation or to Feral Arts with any questions is probably the quickest way to get going. And we're looking forward to heaps of great stories coming in. Thanks.